Running has given me a new outlook on life. The rhythmic breathing is almost meditative, and I get this clarity of thought that comes through me. I've gone beyond what I ever thought was capable. I'm Cassandra Oldham, and I participate in the PR Run and Walk program that happens in One Loudon. I also work as a child advocate at Autism First. When I was 24, I had a really bad accident. I fell off a balcony 55 feet. The bone came out of my leg sideways and my ankle turned up and it got infected. I had broke a couple ribs and bit off my tongue. Landed in the hospital for 6 weeks. The reason I was there for so long is because of the infection in my leg. So they were talking about amputating it. They saved my leg, but they told me that I would never run again. It was devastating, but it wasn't nearly as devastating as the thought of losing my leg. And I tried to look at the positive side of things. I tried to look at what I could do rather than what they said I couldn't do. I was in and out of a wheelchair for about 5 years. When my son was 13, he wanted to run a Spartan race. So I ponied up to do it with him, and I knew I'd have to grit through a lot of pain. And it wasn't that bad. And I saw that I could do pretty good for my age group. I just needed to work on my running. As I started practicing my running, I started to cry. I cried a lot. The more I ran, the more I cried. The harder I cried, the harder I ran, and the better I felt. Nothing in my life changed, but the way I felt about my life changed. I was afraid of going to a race by myself. It took a lot of courage to sign up for a race and go to my first race on my own. So the first marathon I did, the only thing that got me through that last 6 miles was saying, I'll never have to do this again. And I got in the car after my older son was there and I said, oh, thank God I never have to do that again. And he's like, well, no, Mom, you said we have to try everything at least 10 times because we always hate things when we first start things. And I was like, oh, my parenting has come back to haunt me. I started to become addicted to it. I felt so proud of how I did and how I had kind of overcome these ideas I had had that I had placed upon myself. How do you do 26.2? Well, you do it, for me, it's 1 mile at a time. I have younger children who have severe disabilities. During COVID, we opened up a therapy center for children with autism, and I am the child advocate. So I get to give back what I've learned over time. So I signed up for the Boston Marathon and had a blast, and I joined a charity. So I partnered up with the Doug Flutie Foundation for autism, and I loved it. And I heard about this thing called the Abbott Majors. And if you run Boston, Chicago, New York, Berlin, London, and Tokyo, you can get this 6-star medal. I dove head in, and I did all of them within a year. I keep surprising myself, and now I've been working on a PR. I just ran a marathon on April 1st, and at 3:23. Now I'm shooting for 3:15, so we'll see what happens. I feel proud of what I've done. I go out and I face life with a little bit more pride and a little bit more dignity and a little bit more self-respect. I know I can rise up to the challenge. It feels so different to run when someone says, you will never do this again.